Hi everybody. So in our last video we did a little bit of catch up. It's been a while since I've made a video, or I should say been a while since I've been able to update anyone. And we're working on the wing lenses for the wings. So step one of those is you got to have these little brackets made, which I talked about in the last video, and we did. I then decide that it's a good idea to disappear and leave the camera off. So what basically, sorry about that. So basically, what we're doing is working on the lenses for the leading edge for the taxiing and the landing lights, and these are made out of plexiglass, pre-bent plexiglass, and they're a little bit thicker than the wingtips. Actually, I'd say about double the thickness because the wingtip lenses kind of really get a glancing blow of air. They're while they do technically come around to the front, they're not just big. It's not just a big slab of the leading edge, and that's what these are. When you when you've got those, that leading edge is there to help you produce lift. And seeing as how this is a big Hershey bar wing, you need all the lift you can get. So what we did was we took one of the wings out of the stands and put it on top of the table so that you had easy access straight to the hole, which naturally I didn't give you a good shot of seeing from this side. So it's a very simple process, and it comes down to a few measurements and a few cuts. So you take the piece of plexiglass and you lay it on the outside of the leading edge, and you kind of mark about inch around the outside of that hole. And then you go and you cut it on your bandsaw, which is what you see me do, or what you saw me doing. Naturally, before any cutting, I use blue painter's tape to secure both sides of the plexiglass to keep it from splintering. Then once you've got that rough shape cut out, that fits inside the leading edge. Once you have it inside the leading edge, then you actually use a Sharpie to mark the outline of where that will be shown. Then you can cut it a little bit closer, right? Then you use the little brackets, and you use those as a marker. So basically, outside of the shown area, directly outside of it, is where those two brackets go. I mean, it's pretty close to the edge. And all you want to do is cut about 1/4 of an inch outside the edge of those, right? And that'll give you your final shape for your lenses. Now, once you got your final shape done, you got to sand the edges because you want them to be smooth. And you can see I've got my friend Ted over here to help me. So what we do is we need to drill holes into those lenses. And it's not that simple. Plexiglass can be very fickle. You use a bad bit or you go too fast, you start to melt that plexiglass, and then you're screwed, right? You don't want that plexiglass to get too hot. So what we do is I push it in place. Here I am making, well, that was me making a plexiglass bit. So what you want is a number 30 bit to cut these holes. With Ted here in place, I'm pushing the lens against the leading edge. And then he's making just a little bit, or just little mark holes, basically just drilling just enough to start to make a little bit of a hole in the plexiglass. Not a hole, but just a mark. And then we take the lens apart, we take it out, and then what you see us doing is drilling using drilling lubricant. And for plexiglass, it's a combination of water and baking soda. And a combination of water and baking soda actually winds up giving you very nice, cleanly cut holes. And we also use that at the same time for doing the countersinking, which you'll see in the next video. So here, what we did was we drill all the number 30 holes, and then we cleco them in place to make sure that they fit. After that, you do some final drilling on the leading edge, including dimpling, because these are going to be number 6 screws. And then you have to countersink the plexiglass. So in the next video, I will go through countersinking the plexiglass, and I'll actually show you some pictures of what it's like to use the proper lubricant. So that will be in the next video. So see you soon.